Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of athletic icons, stripping away the mythologies to reveal the complexities of human achievement. I'm your host, Howard Closewell, and today we're going to explore the extraordinary life of Pat Tillman, a man whose courage, conviction, and tragic fate have left an indelible mark on American sports and culture. Pat Tillman, for those who may not be familiar, was more than just a talented football player. He was a symbol of patriotism, duty, and sacrifice. Born on November 6, 1976, in San Jose, California, Pat Tillman entered the world during a time of great social and cultural change. The Vietnam War had ended just a year prior, and the country was still reeling from its aftermath. The Cold War, too, was beginning to thaw, with the Soviet Union's grip on Eastern Europe slowly loosening. It was an era marked by uncertainty, but also by great promise. Pat's childhood was spent in the suburban community of San Jose, where his family resided in a modest home on Osborne Avenue. His parents, Patrick Sr. and Mary Tillman, were high school sweethearts who had grown up in the area. They instilled in their children, Pat, Kevin, and Richard, a strong sense of values, including hard work, discipline, and compassion. The Tillman family was deeply rooted in the community, with Pat's father working as a law enforcement officer and his mother as a nurse. Their home was filled with lively debates about politics, history, and philosophy, which would later shape Pat's worldview. His parents encouraged their children to explore their interests, whether it was sports, music, or literature. As a child, Pat was an energetic and curious youngster, always eager to learn and explore the world around him. He spent hours playing with his brothers in the backyard, where they would engage in fierce games of football, baseball, and basketball. These early experiences not only honed Pat's athletic skills, but also fostered a sense of camaraderie and competition that would stay with him throughout his life. Pat's educational journey began at Leland High School, where he excelled as a student athlete, earning top grades and starring on the football field. His love for learning was evident in his passion for history, literature, and philosophy, which he devoured with an insatiable appetite. The works of Ayn Rand and George Orwell were particular favorites, as they challenged his thinking and broadened his perspective on the world. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 had a profound impact on Pat's worldview, shaping his sense of justice and his commitment to serving others. He was deeply affected by the stories of those who fought for freedom and democracy, and he began to develop a strong sense of patriotism and duty. His family, education, and community all played a role in shaping his character, preparing him for the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. The values instilled in him by his parents, hard work, discipline, and compassion, would serve as a foundation for his future endeavors. Pat's decision to attend Arizona State University was largely influenced by his desire to stay close to home and play for a reputable football program. Under the guidance of Coach Bruce Snyder, Pat thrived as a student athlete, earning top grades and starring on the field as a linebacker. His impressive performance during his junior year earned him the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year award, and he was named an All-American. One notable example of Pat's exceptional athleticism and work ethic was his ability to balance football with academics. He majored in marketing and maintained a 3.85 GPA, all while leading the Sun Devils to several key victories. His dedication to his studies was evident in his senior thesis, which explored the intersection of sports and society, a topic that would later become a passion of his. The Arizona Cardinals selected Pat in the 7th round of the 1998 NFL Draft, and he quickly proved himself to be a valuable asset to the team. Despite being considered undersized for an NFL linebacker, Pat's speed, agility, and intelligence allowed him to excel on the field. He started 12 games during his rookie season, recording 76 tackles and 1 sack. Pat's rise to prominence in the NFL was not without its challenges, however. He faced intense competition from other talented players, and there were times when he doubted his own abilities. Nevertheless, he persevered, drawing on the values of hard work and discipline that his parents had instilled in him. His teammates respected him for his tireless work ethic and his willingness to learn, and he quickly became a leader on the team. As Pat's football career flourished, so did his sense of purpose and conviction. He began to speak out on social issues, using his platform as an NFL player to raise awareness about topics such as education, poverty, and social justice. His commitment to serving others was evident in his involvement with various charitable organizations, including the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and the United Service Organizations, USO. The events of September 11, 2001 had a profound impact on Pat's life, as they did for many Americans. He felt a deep sense of duty and responsibility to serve his country, and he began to explore options for joining the military. This decision would ultimately lead him to leave behind a lucrative NFL contract and enlist in the U.S. Army Rangers, along with his brother Kevin. Rather, it was the result of a unique combination of intellectual curiosity, social conscience, and personal conviction. His experiences as a student-athlete at Arizona State University and his rise to prominence in the NFL were just the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would take him from the gridiron to the battlefield. Army Rangers, a choice that would ultimately lead to his tragic death in Afghanistan. Army Rangers, alongside his brother Kevin. Pat's decision to join the military was not taken lightly. It was a choice deeply rooted in his sense of duty, patriotism, and personal conviction that he could make a meaningful contribution to the country's efforts following the events of September 11, 2001. This significant life shift marked a transition from the football field to the battlefield, where Pat would face challenges unlike any he had encountered before. Upon enlisting, Pat and his brother Kevin attended basic training at Fort Benning in Georgia, where they underwent rigorous physical conditioning and combat preparation. Despite being older than many of their fellow recruits and coming from a background of professional sports, Pat approached this new challenge with the same dedication and work ethic that had defined his football career. His leadership skills, developed over years on the field, quickly made him a respected figure among his peers. In 2002, Pat was deployed to Afghanistan as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. The harsh realities of war were a stark contrast to the structured environment of professional sports. Despite these challenges, Pat's commitment to serving his country remained unwavering. He saw action in several combat zones, including the rugged terrain of southeastern Afghanistan, where his unit was tasked with rooting out Taliban and al-Qaeda forces. Tragically, on April 22, 2004, while on patrol in Khost Province, Afghanistan, Pat Tillman's life was cut short in a friendly fire incident. The news of his death sent shockwaves across the nation as Americans mourned the loss of a true hero who had embodied the spirit of service and sacrifice. The aftermath of Pat's death revealed complexities surrounding the circumstances of his passing, including initial reports that he had been killed by enemy forces, which were later corrected to reflect that it was indeed friendly fire. This incident sparked widespread controversy and raised questions about transparency within the military. However, through it all, Pat Tillman's legacy as a symbol of courage, duty, and selflessness has endured. In the years following his death, numerous tributes have been paid to honor Pat's memory, including the establishment of the Pat Tillman Foundation, which supports veterans and their families through educational scholarships and other programs. It lies in the example he set for all of us, an example of what it means to live with integrity, to stand by one's principles, and to make sacrifices for something greater than oneself. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.